What is up? It's Figure Hunter, and if you're new to the channel, I test devices for the purpose of higher intensity training and recovery, typically watches, but a lot of times it's just centered on the CrossFit community and what might benefit people in the CrossFit communities and things alongside the CrossFit. So a lot of my device reviews have that influence in them, as well as this particular one where we are going to talk about the series of Nike Metcon shoes on the market today, because I have some definitive opinion about some transitions that have happened from the 7 to the 8 to the 9 and a couple of ancillary shoes that are out. So we're just going to dive in and just have sort of an open discussion. I just wanted to get these thoughts out because I've been thinking them or feeling them for a while and using different shoes, and we're all, I'm not even obsessed with CrossFit shoes, honestly, but there's a lot of the community that are constantly changing their shoes and going with different brands. That's just not me. So we go back to the Nike 7. We take a walk back in time. Nike 7 is the, in my opinion, actually more probably true by actually scientific measure, the most CrossFit developed shoe. It has the most incorporation of tweaks and engineering design for CrossFit than any other shoe on the market. It has everything from like a full wraparound on the rope climb areas to hardened area on the back for when you're doing headstand push-ups to slide across the wall, to the sort of the Ramaleo design to the heel, as well as a heel cushion, a heel raise, a grip on the front when you're doing lunges, a lace lock when you're doing double unders, just top to bottom, and it's got some squishy things, so it supplies, like, you know, Olympic lifting sort of control to the heel, but squish for running. So it's just got this blend. In general, when you look at the Nike Metcon 7, in my opinion, it was a leap forward in tweaks specifically for CrossFit than Reebok, some of the other shoes ever made possible. The complaint about the 7, and it's probably an ongoing complaint, is it's not the best for running. It doesn't have, you know, especially if you're a heel contact person, it's just not as squishy. So the Nike Metcon 7, though, in simple terms, I have always loved it the best because it had the most incorporated engineering ideas for the CrossFit community, which is what I do or what I train. And so when I look at the evolution of the Metcon, I wanted to talk specifically about some things that you need to be aware of. So then you go to the 8, and the 8 looks a lot like the 7. I mean, it's like, you know, a little bit the same. It's, you know, I would say it's got some minor tweak adjustments. I haven't looked even at the engineering differences, minor tweak adjustments to the overall design, but it's a lot like the 7, maybe just a little bit polished, different colors, but a somewhat similar, minorly better. So then I didn't buy the 8. I went from the 7 to the 9. And now the 9 had some more striking differences. If you look at it from the 7, the striking differences is obviously way more rubber here, all the way to way more rubber on the inside. Well, technically there's rubber all there, but then it just has rubber here all the way up to the top. And that is a felt difference. It's got a wider foot base and a wider heel, a little bit of a different design to the heel itself, and a wider toe box from what I felt. And then it's got some grippy things up top for, you know, when you're doing lunges, things like that. Same lock laces, that's the same, but it's different. So the reason I started this whole thought of this video was that the 9s raised the height of the heel box. So you probably can't see it on camera, and I'm not gonna probably take, but this, it literally sits up on the top where it contacts your ankle, sits up about ½ an inch higher. And so what I found, what others have found, is it is uncomfortable. It actually hits the ankle, whereas on the previous 7 and 8, it did not hit the ankle. Additionally, it felt like it had a wider, or it does have a wider base, so it feels more clunky for the nimble things you might want. It just feels like it's like you're wearing like concrete shoes more that would be more ideal for stabilizing your base so that you can do more heavy lifting in a workout, but not moving quickly or more nimbly. And so that was the primary thing that I wanted to at least let everybody know, is that if I was buying a shoe today, I would pick up some old 8s, because 8 is just a slight tweak, slight improvement on the 7. And I feel like is nimble, has a stable base, has all the CrossFit tweaks and engineering, and is the sort of culmination best overall shoe for flexibility, feeling like it's a little bit light. So if I had a heavy lifting workout, if just because I was testing all these different shoes out, if I had a heavy lifting workout with a lot of heavier barbell, I would go with the 9s maybe, just because it mentally or psychosomatically feels like you're more stable and you have more, because it is more of like Frankenstein's shoe feeling in a workout. If I was doing more nimble stuff, I would go with the 8s, which, you know, actually have 2 pairs now because I bought some, you know, quickly just to test it off of eBay, and then I bought some new ones for when I want to try out new shoes. And so that is my comparison for the traditional Metcons. We're going to talk about 2 other minor things, as you can see, the little green shoes here. So if I were buying shoes today, I just wanted it to be like, this is sort of the review for the Metcon 9s. I don't think it's the final say. If you like a bigger, heavier, hardier shoe that makes you feel like connected with the earth, these are going to be it. But they're going to feel bigger, heavier, and hardier. And just be aware of the increased height of the heel, because it will hit your ankle if that's a thing for you. And then the other sideline thing is the Nike Metcon Zoom, which has sort of the tweaks of the Ramaleo base, as well as the size on the heel strike. It's just a fast shoe. It's got the base where you're doing fast, maybe not as heavy, and it does have the bend. It feels light. It's called the Nike Metcon Zoom. It's the Zoom. You can fly around, you can move around. I like it. As I've tested all these, if you wanted my opinion on all of these, so like if you had, like, this is the fast workout shoe, this is the heavier lifting workout shoe, if you were going to base between the two. And then again, the Nike Metcon 8 is the all-around shoe. It feels stable in lifting for the most part. You know, this is going to feel maybe a little more stable because it's got the wide foot base. But it feels able to accomplish both. But if you're going to have 2 shoes, you might want to consider, you know, like the Nike Metcon Zoom, because I have loved it because it feels comfortable in a lot of the same ways. It still has all the grip, still has some of the engineering design and the footbed design. And then the last one that I want to look at, I want to save money for, but I just can't afford, is the Nike Metcon 1 OG. It's a re-release of the Nike Metcon 1, which actually in the CrossFit community, some I have heard have felt like that was the best CrossFit shoe to ever make it. And they're making it in this new Jordan style. It's $150, so it's not cheap. Like these Zooms were like 65 or 70. You can find everything on sale typically of all these series. My recommendation would be is to focus your efforts on the Metcon 8 if you can still find it, because I feel like it's the best all-around shoe. Just wanted to give you my thoughts on the Metcon lineup. It's a Figure Hunter. Thanks so much for watching.